Hey, welcome to Spirit Soul Sense Information for Your Soul. I am Shareece, and I'm here to tell you that crying can be really cleansing. So back in 2017, I was going through a lot of different life changes. I had moved to Cleveland. I was doing an internship. What did I turn? 28? 2017? Yeah, I think I turned 28 that year, and that was a big birthday for me. I was doing a lot of things that I've never done before for the first time. And by the fall of 2017, I think a lot of it caught up to me. I was in a new space. I was feeling the best I'd ever felt. Like my life was so beautiful, and I feel like all the lessons that I learned, like the previous 2 years, were being like realized. I was being like my true self, and like with a lot of things in life, you learn a lesson and then you're tested to see like have you really mastered it. And so I felt like in the fall of 2017, I had a lot of feelings. And there was a period where I was crying every day. I was crying every day. And I think because I had been doing a lot of inner child work, and as a child, I cried all the time. And so after like this period of, I felt like in 2017, I was coming out of a cocoon. I was like becoming a butterfly, like becoming like myself, like my true self, like who I most was when I was a kid. And I think crying just came along as part of the process of like shedding, these fears, processing, feeling overwhelmed, feeling lonely, feeling like there was no one there to support me. I was going through some stuff. And I think in life we have cycles of like productivity and then, hibernation. I definitely feel like winter for me is like a time of hibernation, a time of deep introspection. And that sort of starts in the fall and then continues more into winter. So I wasn't depressed. Like I wasn't like wishing I wasn't alive. I wasn't, how you say, like I didn't lose interest in the things that I, loved about life. Definitely became more slow, just moved sort of slow about that time. I mean, I was actually going through a real winter at that time. I'm an island girl. I don't do real winters. But in Cleveland, I was doing like a real winter. So there was just a lot of new things happening. And this experience of crying every day was a new old to me. I had not cried every day like that. And so since 2017, there's been one, now two other times where I've cried like every day. And I wanted to do this video now because I, think it would be helpful. And I'm currently in one of those spaces where I'm crying every day. And it is like I can't predict when this is going to happen. I don't like have a mood disorder or anything. It's just like regular life stuff. So it reminds me a lot of Eckhart Tolle talks about all suffering is wanting what is to be what it is not. And I definitely have a lot of things, maybe not a lot. There are several things in my life where I'm currently feeling like I wish they were different. And instead of accepting them, so like this period of crying and wanting things to be different is really just like a period of acceptance. And then at the same time, like suffering is a sign that you've lost contact with God. If you are in a space of unhappiness, despair, loneliness, a lot of that is you've lost touch with like the God inside of you. And so, in periods like this, when I feel like everything just makes me want to cry, talking about crying is making me want to cry. You know, I'm cutting out every part of this video where I am crying because I'm definitely pretty tearful talking about this. I think it's important to show, especially on my YouTube channel, that I'm not perfect. My life is not perfect, and it is beautiful. Like, I really, really enjoy the life I live. But that spirituality is a practice, and it's really always about coming back to center, coming back to balance, remembering that there's a bigger meaning to everything in life. One of my mantras is let yourself feel a thing so you can be free to feel something else. Because feelings, emotions, they're all temporary. None of them last forever. The feeling of joy or happiness is temporary. Something else is going to happen in your life that's going to make you feel not happy or not joyous. That's just the fact of life. Like, it's all cycles. And so I am currently in a period of needing to practice gratitude, needing to meditate, so that I myself can get back to balance and really be present and cherish the things that are happening in my life. You know, I mentioned that I was a child who always cried, and then I entered adulthood, you know, having experienced certain things and then feeling like I hate crying, I don't want to cry. And so, you know, part of what happened that led up to my 2 months of crying every day in 2017 was giving myself permission to feel vulnerable, to feel like weak or like I didn't have everything in control in my life. And so now I really don't fight tears. I think I'm still in a space where I don't like people seeing me cry. And there's been like 2 occasions at work where I've just cried uncontrollably. And like there's no getting around other people seeing me cry. I think crying is very important. I think it's very healthy. I think some people cry more than others. I'm a sensitive person, and so I'm already a sensitive person, but also in the state that I am now, I'm just going to cry for like things that really don't need to be a trigger. So I did a review on Marriage Story and cried so much during that film. I thought it was absolutely beautiful and exquisite. But you know, letting myself like cry through things. I had an extremely lovely launch with the man that I've been dating, and you know, I got home and then randomly I'm just like, wow, that was so beautiful. That was so nice. And then waterworks, because everything is just like so nice and so beautiful. What's something else I cried about? I finally caught on to The Office, and I finished that recently, and did not expect the ending to be so emotional. It was emotional, and then also doubly emotional for me. So it's just like random things that make me cry. I mean, some big things, you know, really feeling grateful for all the wonderful things that I have in my life, make me feel just makes me feel like an overwhelming amount of gratitude and love. And, you know, it's a process. So right now, I am not at 100%. There are some things happening in my life that I don't like, right? That I wish were different. But this too shall pass. And I, you know, I want to share that piece here on my channel as well. So if you've like found this video, after seeing like some of my other videos, like I am generally a very upbeat kind of personality. I really love life. But just like everyone else, I have my own experiences of sadness or of loss or of loneliness. Like I am human. And, you know, being spiritual doesn't exempt me from all the normal things that happen in life. Like, just stuff happens in life. And it's really about how you respond to them that makes the difference for what you experience here in this world. And so I'm just going through a period of deep reflection, growth, introspection, and I'm grateful for it too. You know, it's not the most pleasant experience to cry every day like I have been for the last week, but it's an experience, and I value that as well. And so like it's also a reminder for me to do all the self-care things, do all the spiritual things that I have done in the past that I maybe have not been consistent with. So feel free to share in the comments your thoughts on this video, or you know, your own feelings in life. And thank you for watching. Like a video diary.